let's take a closer look at what exactly we're doing up on these gables. So if you've followed along with the last few videos, you'll know that we've been putting this cement board in up the verges here, and this is to catch the new cement that we're going to put in. We can point this all up in. Then we're going to be moving on to the soffit board underneath here and the fascia board along here. Let's show you what we've done so far. So here's a closer look at what this verge looks like. Now we've already put the cement board in down this one, but just imagine it without it. This is the way it was left. It's been sitting like this probably close to maybe 20 years-ish. So what we've done is we've come and we've cut the nails from the lath onto this rafter board here. We've cut the nails and we have pushed in this cement board. Now, before everybody starts being like, this isn't going to hold in, there's no support for this. Well, actually, there's steel beams running through. There's one in the middle, one at the bottom, and there's a steel plate in behind here. It's all taking the weight of this, so there is no issue whatsoever with us cutting the lath and doing this. It's all perfectly fine. As you can see, we've already pointed a little bit in down here. Now this was the other day, it was literally just to use up what we had in the bucket. So we've pointed it in, but this is what it will look like when it's all done. Nice, neat and tidy finish, and then obviously our fascia will come in here. It'll just finish the whole thing off really nicely. So let's crack on with some soffit board. We'll get it on first. I've already put the J-trim underneath, so let's get some bits cut and we'll show you getting them fitted. So use this square, just mark off where I'm going to cut it. In this instance it's 300mm. Grinder, just normal blade on it, and cut it. Need a new battery. 1 second. And there you go. 2 sections cut. So I actually find that using the grinder is probably the best way to do it, to be honest with you. I've used handsaw in the past, normal circular saw. It either chips, breaks, or it's just really awkward to do. I've also used the table saw in the past. Don't recommend doing that. That's just a disaster in itself. So grinder, easiest, simplest, cleanest way to do it. Right, so we've cut a few bits of our soffit board. This is it here. So let's install it now. Now, what we just need to do is slot it into the J-trim up here. And I'll just push that up tight. And we'll get it all lined up. Oh, it's not clicked in fully. Can be a wee bit awkward to get it in sometimes. There we go. Right. So now that is in, I'm going to take a plasterboard screw and screw it in at the bottom here to start with. Just through that tongue, or the bit of the groove there, sorry. That'll hold that in place. Now because this is the top one as well, I'm going to screw one in just here. I like to do it just to hold that in place, keep it all sturdy, and then we can literally just work off down it. So slot it in, and away you go, and literally just slide it on down the whole way until we're down both sides, the bottoms, and then we can worry about our fascia board. So let's get all this put in. So as you can see, that is this side down to where I can reach there really. And then I have a pile more cut that are down in the lower part of the scaffolding, so I'm going to jump down in a wee minute and get that bottom bit. But we'll get this bit all sorted here now. Also, don't ask me what's going on here because I don't know. Plaster will probably have to touch us in at some point, but that's not my problem. Yeah. This side's actually slightly different measurements because the way this wall is plastered, it sort of comes in and out a bit, but this side's actually slightly different. It's only 10mm, but I have to cut it 10mm to make it fit. Usually I'd cut like a general sort of size, roughly, because the J-trim gives you a wee bit of play, but unfortunately I have to cut this 10mm bigger, so let's get this side done. Lovely. So, soffit boards are all in down both sides. Now we've got it down as far as we can take it there at the minute. And now we're going to do the fascia. But I'll show you where we're stopping it at because we have box ends to do. So let's take a look at that. So we're going to bring our fascia down from the peak there, right down to this point here. Just where it starts to turn into a different angle. And from here onwards will be box section. So we've actually got a bigger, wider section of fascia that we'll cut down and just sort of tie in all around here, make it look nice. But that will be done at a later point. We're able to get that off trestles, sorry. The main focus really now is to get this higher up bit done so we can get the scaffolding down and get that bit all sort of out of the way. So let's get some fascia ripped down and get it all cut and sorted and ready to get nailed on. So with our fascia ripped to width, I've now went up and I've set my bevel for the angle at the top. I've marked them, so let's get the angles cut on that and then we can get the length sorted. Right. 13 foot, bang on. 3960, 13 foot. Lovely. .13 Right, I like to nail this every 400. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 200, 24, 28, 32, and 36. Perfect. So I've my spacings all marked out in this. Now next thing is to determine where the nails are going. So I've just used this little set square, and that bottom marker pen is where the bottom nail will go, and then the top nail will just go right at the very end of the square. So there is, let me see, there's my mark there, set to the mark, and then put a nail in here and a nail in there, and that'll be that. Now just nail it home. And just like that, this bit of PVC is all done. Now, still need to point in these verges here. Don't ask me what's going on here. I think a blind person done that. I'm not even starting near that. Anyway, all the verges to point in now and just the box sections to do. But that is sort of the general gist of things. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of what we're doing here, how we're doing it, and yeah, just sort of general all-round view of things. Now somebody in the comments the other day said to me, why not working off ladders? Which I was like, really? I think anybody with a bit of common sense will realise why we're not working off ladders. So yeah, there we go. Scaffolding definitely is needed for this. No way am I doing ladders, especially at this height. Not a hope.